go ahead and get this underway. The red bracket, DanV and Cheez in Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, we are underway. DanV, a former CTM Masters event winner, Mega Masters, actually. And that was back in May of 2023, so over a year now, Mega Masters. Who can forget DanV winning Mega Masters? I had to look it up because I forgot about it. That explains the little one with the star, or the star with the one next to it. DanV, one of the first, really one of the few players who have won a community tier, a hopefuls, a futures, and a challengers tier. So all the winning tiers in the CTM Discord, DanV has got them from the United Kingdom, and what a United Kingdom it is. Cheez is here. We all know Cheez, the inventor or co-inventor or whatever of rolling, certainly applied the fly heck method to the NES controller, which revolutionized classic Tetris as we know it in so many ways and made so much of what we're doing today possible, including 39 super kill screen and even talking, game crash and talking about rebirth and all this other stuff. So the contribution Cheez made to the game cannot be understated. So it's great to have him back here. Is also a former CTM Masters event winner and won in February 2022. Oh, did I say Mega Masters? I meant Faster Masters. Yeah, sorry if I said that wrong. But yeah, Cheez won back in February of 2022. That, if by my math, is like 26 months ago, something like that, 27 months ago. Now, the record for time between Masters victories is Zafanya Nenu, who won back in 2019 and then won in 2021 for 20 months in between. So if Cheez can make his way to the finals and through the finals, that would be a massive break of that record. I think Cheez looking to just throw in a qualifier, have some fun. We'll see what happens. 196 for Cheez. Here's a Tetris. 254 DanV with the Vits. Really, the Vits in column 8. I don't know if DanV was going for like double parallel Vits or whatever. The DPV, that's crazy. Jasmine says, not going to lie, I wasn't even watching Dan's Vits. Yeah, I think all eyes are on one of our other competitors here. We just haven't seen in a while. And as far as I can tell, Cheez was kind of out of competitive action really throughout 2023 and most of 2024 until returning to the Classic Tetris World Championship in 2024, much to the surprise and delight of all the worldwide fans of Cheez out there. 253 for Cheez, 347 for DanV. Tetris DanV 393, long bar over Cheez. Cheez also also that same year did win a futures. Can you imagine Cheez in futures? Also that same year won June 2022 futures. And also a winner of multiple back in the day WPL Classic Tetris Open. Those are the online tournaments run by Beast and Shen, and a winner of a couple of those as well. And old school CTL. But Cheez been around a while. 368 Cheez, 448 DanV. But so far, so good for Cheez. I mean, no huge. You expect a lot of rust here. I don't know if Cheez has been secretly derusting, but probably not. Probably just like, all right, I threw in a qualifier. Oh, I have to play today? I guess I'll do that. We'll see. 416 for Cheez. There is a Vits for DanV, 471. Cheez back by only, less than 2 Tetrises. Other Tetris DanV, we're about 30 lines away from the level 19 transition. Tetris DanV 541. There's one for Cheez. Welcome, Mari, Zempro, Katie Bug, Pines Cutely. DanVweller is in chat. That's crazy. Stolen Short Sword, Cold Bucket, Gravity's Child. Thanks for hanging out. Fluffy Lemur over on the YouTube side. Sarmalek is a channel member. Welcome. Sorry if I butchered your name. Probably did. All right. Just the Tetris away on both sides from transitioning into 19. Cheez is in at 579. DanV is into 623. So pretty healthy transition for both of these players. This is really a... really... I have no idea what to expect from this bracket. DanV, excellent player, you know, top whatever number player. But you never know what to expect. Cheez, you don't know what to expect. Eyeball, is he going to continue his improvement or not? Ramations. So this is a bracket of volatility. I would not be surprised to see any of these players come out of this bracket in the semifinals. 708 for Cheez, less than, about a Tetris behind DanV. Same line count, so Cheez is holding his own. I don't see a lot of rust. I'll try not to commentator curse it, though. DanV 754, 737 for Cheez. Earl Tan says, watching this after watching CTWC DAS earlier feels weird. Yeah, it's a lot faster. It's almost like a different game. I mean, it's the same game, but it's just, you know, it's great that we have so many different ways to play the same game, right? 824 for Cheez, 844 for DanV, same line count. So Cheez back by less than a Tetris. And the other variable is, I don't know what Cheez has for, kind of a delayed Corian. What Cheez has for post 29 and kind of spiring a little bit. But able to bring this down. Of course, we know, Cheez made deep runs in the past. We'll see what Cheez has in the tank for 29 plus. DanV flattening out the board, getting Tetris ready. Tetris 946 here on 25. 2 Tetrises away. Cheez board getting a little bit high, but gets a Tetris already set up for the next one. Was set up too high. Oh, good adjustments here for Cheez. These Cheez adjustments. Giant brain. We always knew Cheez had a giant brain. And on display here, well, not literally, that would be gross, but there was the product of that brain on display. Cheez trying some adjustments here. DanV with the max out here on 26 gets another Tetris A77. Cheez with the max out. Look at that. A max out. 1,000,000 points. Holy moly. It's a whole lot of points. All right. DanV with the 1.1 B45 into 28. Cheez of not taking the burns here. There's 6 or 7 lines away from the 29 transition where the speed will double. And here we go. Cheez is in at A58. And DanV C35 here on 29. All right, Cheez bringing this back down. DanV, the left side, kind of a mess here, getting up high on that left. We'll see what DanV can do. And no, that hang of the Z is going to seal it. So we're in a chase down situation. Cheez needs to get to C45. C45 is the target. Cheez about 150,000 points away. Tetris is here, worth about, upwards between 36 and 40,000 points. So, that's about, 4 Tetrises plus whatever burns you take along the way. We'll see what Cheez can do. Oh, gets that long bar smartly all the way to the left. All right, taking that safety triple has plenty of time. Oh, that J piece does not get all the way to the left, but oh, not going to get that T-spin. So really, this is just line out practice. Set up for a Tetris here. Does not want to go all in, so trying to keep it open. And gets the long bar in for the Tetris B87. Target is C45. And has a clean board and about 30 lines to work with. What Tetris here would do would basically do it, except for one line. So yeah, there we go. And that's it. And Cheez is going to chase down DanV here in game number 1. And DanV looking on, just can't believe it. Says, "Come on, man. Come on, man." Let's go ahead and get them underway. Game 2, Cheez is up 1-0 in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Dog is enjoying the hover 3. It is 3, 2 on Tetris, Cheez. This is how we do it. We count it down and then you start. Cheez has forgotten how classic Tetris works. That's all right. He'll remember. All right, Tetrises for each player. What's the number in parenthesis after their PB? So their PB, I take it as of the beginning of the month. So if they've PB'd since the beginning of the month, it doesn't update to reflect that. But that is their ranking at the time that I at the time that I extrapolated the data. That is their ranking among the PBs on the PB leaderboard. Mari says, "Bro is a real OG. These kids will never know what it's like to hover 3. We thought hover 3 was like the coolest innovation." But it didn't last that long because, you know, Tetris Gym got the ready thing pretty quickly. So that didn't last super long. 115 for Cheez, 117 for DanV. Not Vandy with the extrapolation. Yeah, you know how much data I'm extrapolating? DanV with the Vits. Jasmine probably didn't even see it. Jasmine transfixed here by Cheez. You have a Retron, can't get Game Genie. Rip. All right, one of our players making a slideshow presentation about Tetris stacking. You can join his master class for $189 and get access to this extremely valuable PowerPoint presentation. All right, we're good now. 237 for Cheez. Nice flat stacking here. Tetris 260, 302 for DanV. DanV set up for another Vits. DanV really looking for attention. Says, you know, I got the inventor of rolling here. No one's paying attention to me. I'm just going to do a bunch of Vits. All right, DanV uncovers it well, gets a long bar over for the Tetris, fills out the left side with a blue J piece. Oh, Mr. Brain scheduled at 1:30. Game Genie works on some Retrons, doesn't it? Because some of the Retrons run on emulation, so it depends on which one. Basically, if it runs off emulation, I don't think it works. I could be wrong about that, but that was my understanding. 336 Cheez. Okay, there is a nice red L. And board's getting high for both players, so we are probably getting a little droughted. But Cheez handling it well, keeping the well open. DanV keeps the well open, gets the bar 397. And both players with messy boards, couple of gaps in the stacks for each. So just trying to keep this open, or to get this well open. I mean, this is a real grind for both of these players. Okay, Cheez going to get that triple. I'm assuming that T is going to open up the right side. Long bar in Tetris. So Cheez bringing that 2022 energy and the 2022 internet. Imagine. 401 here for Cheez, 441 for DanV. Cheez at 113 lines on our screen could be back a little bit. This could be just because of the stream delay. 465 for DanV. Cheez just 9 lines away from the transition here. Okay, there's a triple. And there's one more piece that's going to be needed to... Oh, well, all right. Finally, uncovers, gets a long bar in at level 19. And both players with low transition scores. 449 for Cheez, 516 for DanV. Game Scout says, brings me back to 2021. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think most of our player base has, like... They've, like, grown up and bought their own internet. So... Or they have, like, university internet. So we don't run into, the, at least in Masters anyway, these internet issues, unless it's Europe. But so maybe, I don't know, maybe Cheez living in a secret bunker in Europe. I don't know. 502 for Cheez, 578 DanV. Long bar in for Cheez. All right, Cheez a little too flat here. Doesn't have burn, so has to build out that left. Oh, that Z to the left. But oh, I thought it paused there, but it didn't. A lot of sixes on the board for DanV. Here on level 23, 172 lines. Cheez trying to bring this down. Kind of double flips that bar. Maybe, was that a choice? I'm not sure. You know, you never really know when it's one of the biggest brain players in the world, whether things are a choice or a mistake or maybe a little bit of both. You don't know. But Cheez bringing this down. And there's a Tetris Cheez 606 here on level 24, 730 for DanV. So DanV almost with 100, now more than 100,000 point lead over Cheez here in game 2. All right, Mr. Brain, very, very upset about the time here. We're hearing all about the time. You're here now, Mr. Brain, so I understand. Let's enjoy the time we have together rather than ruining the mistakes of the past. 702 Cheez, 825 now for DanV. We're on level 26. All right, Cheez there with the Tetris. I don't know, there's something about stacking here. It gives me anxiety here. Cheez setting up the Vits, and I'm sure Jasmine saw that one. $7.99 for Cheez. There's a Tetris down there, $8.33. So back by like one and a half Tetrises and 1.5 Tetrises worth of lines. So it's actually pretty close. Oh, Cheez setting up that tuck here. Creates a dependency, but able to burn that down. And Dan is into level 29 at 965. Cheez is in at 925. So back by about a Tetris. Oh, no. Long bar in the middle there for Cheez for a Tetris. 962. Has to go to work on that left side. Dan with the max out. A12. Cheez bringing this down. Great square for Cheez's board. And Dan kind of going all in on this Tetris is going to top out at A12. So another chase down. The target is A13 for Cheez. So that is really just a Tetris. And going for it, Cheez. Cheez not messing around. And is just going for this Tetris. Guess the Tetris, and Cheez is going to take game number 2. Cheez on the comeback trail, somehow inactive in CTM for over 2 years, and now is 1 game away from a round 1 victory against DanV and get game number 3 started. Cheez and DanV. DanV needs to win to stay in. Let's go. 3, 2, 1 Tetris. All right. I can't imagine anybody under the age of 30 has seen 2001, but that's okay. All right, Mari has seen it. That's okay. Is Jim V6 a requirement for Masters? No, I think it's what V. Is it V5? Is V tournament V5? Oh, Cheez with a misdrop there. Those two, those L's and J's though, getting kind of intimate on his board. Interesting. Tetris here for DanV, 51,000 for him, 26,000. Cheez going to clean this up. Uses the bar for the middle of the board. Stack health before Tetris, I guess. And a Tetris for Cheez, 51,000. And another Tetris here for Cheez. So, just about the same line count, just about the same score. Here in game number 3, DanV up against it. Needs to win this one to stay in. And to win this match, he will need to win 3 in a row against Cheez, who's looking very, very strong. Of course, we know DanV, one of the grittiest players out there. So this match is not over yet. Cheez with the Corian thing. Of course, last time Cheez played, I don't even know if Corian thing had a name. 145 Cheez. There's a Tetris. 166 DanV. Fun fact, the scene from 2001, A Space Odyssey, actually happened just that way. It literally was actual footage of those monkeys there with that big, weird space block. 238 DanV, 237 Cheez. Oh, Cheez setting up the Vit says, I don't know why I'm doing this. It probably wasn't ideal. And now kind of paying the price for the cheeky Vits. Oh, but it's clean again. Cheez is a wizard. A literal wizard. Long bar Tetris, Cheez, 285. Cheez just having fun with it. 307 DanV. The monkeys did their own stunts. Yeah, it was hard to know. Was 2001 a documentary or an actual film? You know, it's very controversial. They may have scripted some of it. Tetris DanV 39. Now I want to go back and watch 2001. All right, Cheez keeping that right side open by creating that sort of delayed overhang with that square. DanV in a little bit of trouble here. That's going to be a good triple to bring some of this down. And DanV just needs to get to work uncovering the well. He's got that pesky block, that pesky gap in the middle of the stack, which is controlling the well cover. 431 for Cheez now in the lead, while DanV is burning Tetris, DanV 438, 433 Cheez. All right, here's the solemn promise. If Cheez wins Masters this month, we will actually do the Extreme Sports with the Berenstain Bears World Championship 2022 this year. All right, that is my solemn promise. So Cheez, if you win, we will actually do it. Now there's actual stakes. 502 for Cheez, now 525, 508 DanV. We'll go figure out where Ed Magnin is. We'll do it live. Maybe there's too much pressure. Maybe that's too much pressure to put on one man, so we'll see. Oh, no, it's not 2024. We still have to do 2022. That one hasn't been done yet, so we still have to do that. 542 for DanV, now 567 here at 19. 579 for Cheez. No, ESWT BBWC 2021 was awesome. That was like one of the highlights of my Tetris community career. I think so fondly back on that. That was one of the best things. If you haven't watched it on our YouTube channel, go watch it. It was really a great time. 619 DanV, Tetris for Cheez 659. There's another Tetris DanV. He's locked 674, but Cheez is ahead 712. Both. DanV also gets a Tetris. There's a Tetris for Cheez 748. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Foiled. I think he just kind of burned out a little bit. DanV now back in the lead. Getting up a little bit high here. Long bar over Tetris for him. There's a triple down that right side. Cheez with a Tetris. Ends up not having to... All right, well, he's actually going to cover here. Okay, now a Tetris for Cheez, 820. Yeah, you just start thoughts and don't complete them. And that's Vandy in 2024. I don't know. Can I win the 2024 election? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I have to step down. 829 for Cheez, 865 for DanV. He's got a well in column 9. And he's going to take the skim in a Tetris, column 9, Tetris 905. Cheez, 866. All right, let's see what Cheez is going to do about this. Okay, beautiful. Double, triple. 885 for Cheez, 983 for DanV. Same line count, and Cheez is back by 63,000 points. DanV with a Tetris and a max out A18. Now DanV has taken a lead into 29 and been ahead in 29 in game 1 and game 2. I'm going to try to straighten it out here and stay ahead. Tetris Cheez 972 into 29. He's back by about 80,000 points. DanV is in. He's got a clean, workable board. He's set up for a Tetris. Okay, he's piling high on that left side, so he needs to bring this down. Cheez getting up high on the board here. The survival from Cheez. DanV uncovering. Wow, that survival from Cheez. Crazy. DanV, A97. Cheez has the max out here on 31. And Cheez is, all right, going to bring this down with a triple, staying safe, just trying to figure out how to get a good board. All right, DanV with the survival as well. So B43 for DanV. Cheez setting up for the Tetris in column 4 and gets it. A59. DanV not quite ready for one here. Trying to work this stack back down. Cheez with another center well Tetris B02. And Cheez setting up again in column 4. Has to cover it. Uncovers here temporarily, not able to see everything here. And he's just going for it. And finally gets that Tetris. A little bit of a messed up board, though. B65. So Cheez going to have to go to work. DanV with a cleaner board here. Going to work that left side. For Cheez is a problem. And a couple of long bars piled on top of each other. Seems like deja vu. I feel like Cheez has done that before. And that is going to be a top out for Cheez. And DanV is going to take game number 3 and stay in the tournament. GG's to you, DanV. Cheez long bars on their way to column 3. Didn't we have like a YouTube short or a line spin media with like it wasn't that Cheez? Or was that someone else? All right, DanV here on 37 DO4. So the 1.3 for DanV is going to be enough to take game number 3. Let's go ahead and get him started in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. He took it and he flipped it. Hover 3 still speaks. If you hover 3 today, it's not a meme. You better be ready to play, okay? He picked 13. True. Yeah, this has been a very fun month. It's been a lot of work. You know, we had Lone Star. We've got our DAS tournament. We've got this. I mean, it's been an extremely busy, maybe even stressful month, but it's actually one of the most fun months. I think seeing some of the return of players, you know, both from DAS and here, you know, Cheez returning. I don't know how long that'll last, but we'll see. But yeah, just seeing some of these players return, and then DAS kind of starting to make a comeback. It's been a super fun month. 142 for Cheez, 100 for DanV. Did Andy not qual this month? No, Andy did not qual for regular Masters this month. Gerald Freeman says, Vandy, did you beat Mega Man 2? I left with 2 left. All right, it's 18 and up, so I'll tell you. But last night, I don't know how it came up, Mega Man 2 or whatever. But I'm like, all right, I'm going to just go play Mega Man 2. So I was playing Mega Man 2 on my stream. And you can go to, you know, twitch.tv/VandyPants if you want to. And I was playing Tetris for DanV, 216, 199 for Cheez. And I got through all the initial bosses. And then I get onto that part where you have to, you know, go like 4 or 5 segments to get to Dr. Wily. I'm 1 segment before I get to Dr. Wily. And somehow I must have... Oh, and the whole night I was like fighting with my EverDrive. Like there's a menu that you can trigger to bring up save states and cheats and whatever. And that was keyed to like the left D-pad and to the start button, so left and start. And start is also the menu that you use to get your power-ups in Mega Man. So I was playing, I was almost to the end, and somehow I must have created a save state, and then I triggered a save state by hitting down and start. And I wiped out all my progress. I had never beaten Mega Man 2 before. I hadn't really played it since I was a kid. But somehow I created a rogue save state and triggered it and lost all my progress. So I was very upset by that. Now, I know it's not that big a deal because people are beating it in a half hour. And I didn't write any of the passwords down. 308 for Cheez, 341 for DanV. So I was really upset. I was so frustrated. So I'm going to have to go back and figure out how not to have that happen. 365 for DanV. I was so frustrated. I couldn't eat. I had to go right to sleep. They were in the VOD? Oh, yeah, that's true. I could have looked in the VOD. No, but I didn't. You have to look at the passwords. You have to actually go in and look at it. So it's not in the VOD. In Mega Man 2, at least. But that's all right. I'm going to go back and beat it. I'm going to finish what I started, or at least start again what I started, and then finish. Do you use a password manager? Yes, I use a password manager for all my Mega Man 2 passwords. I have them locked away in Proton Pass. I don't know why, Chen, you're asking me about my password hygiene, but I'm probably not going to talk about that on stream. That's a weird question. 503 for DanV, 405 for Cheez. But I do recommend that everyone use a password manager. All right, Cheez with a dirty left well Tetris 453. $551 for DanV. We're just a few lines away from the level 19 transition. I do use a different email address for pretty much every account that I have online, though. Because you don't want these hackers and data brokers to extrapolate the data. DanV with a Vitz again here, 624. That's going to lead to a Tetris 649. 551 here for Cheez on 19. Tetris for Cheez, 602. Cheez trying to fill in this canyon here to get to where he can burn away this cover over the well, but getting up kind of high. All right, gets that bar to the left, needs a bar for the middle. Oh, a triple for the middle will be good. And Cheez uncovers it well, misses a placement there, but gets a long bar in for a Tetris. 643, that'll burn away fairly efficiently. Keeping that well open, another Tetris Cheez, 673, 745 for DanV. There's another Tetris for him, who's got almost 100,000 point lead over Cheez. DanV with a great L to get Tetris ready, clear away some garbage. Long bar over Tetris, 835. Cheez still 100,000 points behind DanV right now. Here in game number 4. And this is a high dig for Cheez, even for a roller. DanV Tetrising low on the board. Good board. Left side for Cheez is a problem. And that causes problems all over the board. But, oh my God, is he going to get this down again? Cheez is a wizard. Cheez is actually a literal, actual wizard. 756 for Cheez, 931. But don't speak too soon here. Oh my God. Losing pace here. DanV with a dirty Tetris left well, like 6 rows off the bottom. Max out here for DanV here on 27. Cheez is like TP's away from getting out of this. Does get out of this. Covers the well here again. Oh, boy. Set it for a dirty. Gets the dirty Tetris anyway. 821 uncovers the right side well. It takes a long bar into 29 at 858. Immediate misdrops here, so Cheez going to have to go to work. Back by 200,000 points from DanV. What a downstack there for Cheez, though. And I thought he was done. Oh, and DanV getting up high on the board here. We'll see what he can do. And the answer is nothing. DanV going to top out A72. So now another chase down situation for Cheez. And Cheez has a clean board. The target is A73. A73 is the target for Cheez. He's got time, but he's got to bring this down. Oh, no, that left side for Cheez. Can't get the bar over, and that is going to be a top out, and we've got a decider. I swear I thought Cheez was going to somehow pull that out. I swear I thought that was going to happen, but we've got us a decider. Crazy wizardry from Cheez, though. Somebody check. Does Cheez float? Let's go ahead and get them underway. It's a decider time. The winner goes to the top 8 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Bro is way too excited about that damn seed checker. Well, it saves us so much time. It saves us a ton of time by not having to replay games. I think Cheez is on a little bit of a delay. And yeah, a little bit of stream delay from Cheez. I don't know, like Starlink internet out there in the desert somewhere. The decider is not reversed. Oh, whoops. All right, hold on. We are underway. This seed trolling a little bit. 56,000 here for DanV, 55 for Cheez. Or is it Tetris Cheez 103? All right, Cheez. Okay, going to keep that T-spin thing set up. Gets the T-spin. $128 for Cheez, $171 for DanV. The winner goes to the top 8 to face the winner of our next match, which will be Eyeball and Ramations. So Eyeball and Ramations, if you want to be streaming and start warming up. $181 from Cheez, $247 from DanV, Tetris for Cheez, $204. Back by 6 lines and 2 Tetrises. Another Tetris for Cheez. And yeah, Cheez, I think internet a little bit delayed here, so we'll be a little bit behind on our screen. By the way, I missed some gift subs here. Doge with the tier 1 gift sub to Classic Tetris Bot. Thank you. Doge with another gift sub to Miles. Deck with the tier 1 sub to Cheez. No, thank you. And Xenon gifted a tier 1 sub to Neko. Deck with the also Prime sub. I don't know why I missed those. Oh, I see why. I know why. I guess those don't appear in the chat doc that I'm using with Restreamio. Tetris over for Cheez, 348, 460, one line and 400 points behind for Cheez. So it is neck and neck. John Wick says, wow, the legend is back indeed. And is right now in a decider with Cheez. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, with DanV. Of course, obviously you're referring to Cheez as the legend and not DanV. But in my mind, DanV, a legend. 402, DanV, 394 for Cheez. That T-piece does not make it all the way to the left, but thankfully a couple of Tetris, a couple of Tetris is available on that right side. Gerald Freeman says, Cheeks, my favorite player, Cheeks. Well, I love Gerald Freeman more and more every day, you know? Cheeks. All right, Tetris for Cheez, 468, 430 for DanV. It doesn't make any sense. All right, DanV looking to uncover, does uncover 439. Cheez now in the lead, 495. There's a Tetris Cheez. Dan is into 19 at 486. Cheez is in at 541, so about a 55,000 point difference at transition. Cheez with a Tetris, 566. DanV. It got me that bad. I don't know why it got me that bad. It really did, though. There's a Tetris for Cheez, 596, 539, DanV. Tetris Cheez, 625. The board is green. Tetris Cheez, 651. DanV's board climbing a little bit, takes a triple and a Tetris, 604. Long bar. Oh, that long bar did not get all the way over for Cheez. That was scary. I was about to call the Tetris, and then it's like, wait, where did that long bar go? All right, DanV with some tucks on the right side takes a spin of the L piece. Tetris for Cheez, 734. Blue Scooty in chat says Cheez is cooking. Watching the Olympics synchronized diving last night. It was an American pair of synchronized divers called Cook and Bacon. Like Cook and Bacon. Those are the two names. That's crazy. 795 Cheez. 706 DanV. That right side for DanV. A little concerning there. Gets the bar in there. Anytime you see something like that, blocking a well, that is scary. Long bar over Tetris. DanV 748. Cheez gets a long bar down 860. Cheez bringing this down. There's a Tetris for DanV 814. I don't follow Olympics. Okay. Well, thanks for letting us know. You should watch the Olympics. 941 for Cheez. 881 DanV. Cheez with a high but flat board with a good well. And no, DanV, the middle of his board is a mess. How is he going to do? What is he going to do? What is he going to do? And the answer is nothing. DanV is going to top out, and Cheez has advanced to the top 8. Are you serious? DanV all of a sudden with those hangs. And Cheez is advancing in his return to Classic Tetris Monthly. Wow. That was just... Now, are we sure Crinkle wasn't holding the controller from behind DanV right there? Are we 100% sure that that wasn't happening? Oh my God. Well, Cheez, take your 3. There it is. Cheez has defeated DanV in a decider. GG's to you, DanV. Wow. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.